In this video, I'm going to show you how I make my own henna mix. I've been using henna for years together because I had gone grey quite early, and I've not had any particular issues because of the use of henna. People do fear using henna because it can dry the hair quite a bit, and also because they're not very sure how effective it is. I can tell you that the color is quite permanent, so once you put it until uh, uh, the roots grow, it doesn't go gray again. So the new roots obviously will grow gray, but once the stain goes on your hair, it remains there. And it's worth mentioning that only light color hair will take the color, and if your hair is black already, it will not absorb the color. So my hair is a mixture of a bit of ginger like finish and black, because I have loads of gray. Some people that look at me think that I have actually done some highlights, but when I tell them that it's actually henna which I have put, they get surprised. So over to the method now. To make the henna with cocoa butter, I have taken about less than half a cup of cocoa butter, just broken into as small pieces as I could. I'm now going to pour hot water to melt it. You could also melt it on a double boiler, but I'm a bit lazy, so I'm going to do this. Because the consistency of the melted cocoa butter doesn't quite matter to us, unlike if we are making a lip balm where the consistency of the final product matters, this method is okay. If you're making a lip balm with this cocoa butter, then you need to use a double boiler. So I'm just going to let this melt, and if possible help. I normally put the hot water in and go away to do some work and come back to it in a bit. This is the brand of cocoa butter that I bought. I just googled on Amazon, really searched on Amazon rather, and bought this. It seems to work quite well. I did try one of the popular brands of henna, which uses cocoa butter in it. It comes as a slab and you're supposed to boil it on a double boiler and melt it before use. But I found the texture of that henna to be very coarse and very difficult to apply for me, and I didn't think it was worth the money that I paid for it. So I decided to do it at home, and that's how I figured out this is one way of doing it. I used to put oil earlier, but now I've started putting melted cocoa butter. So that's the cocoa butter melted in the hot water. I have ground like about 10 cloves in my mortar and pestle, using mortar and pestle, and I'm going to add this in here. There are days when I just do a top up, if you like, of the henna, and there are days when I do a bit more deeper coverage. So today I might have to do a bit more deeper because I can't get away with just the top. So use how much henna you need for your hair. Depends on the length of hair, your thickness, and so on. I do not put anything else like lemon or yogurt or egg in this, just so that it doesn't interfere with the absorption of the henna. The cloves that I use, I found out that cloves are quite good if you suffer with sinusitis, and some people with sinusitis do hesitate to put henna because they think that it'll cool them down so much and they'll catch another cold like how I have now. But I have figured out that the cloves help you prevent the cold due to the henna. So I have been using it despite my chronic sinusitis. The cloves also gives you a very dark, deeper color than without it. So I quite like the end result of the color as well. So add water as much as needed, and because I don't rest this, I prefer to add warm water because I don't want anything really cold on my head. So I try to use water that I've boiled in the kettle, or just use warm water from the tap to do this. So you might have heard that if your body is quite hot, then the henna or the mehendi even that you put on your hand will give you a very good color. Similarly, the heat for this also will help it release the colors better, so hot water is a good idea. I'm going to need more water, and I'm going to make it into into a better paste. So this is my henna paste ready to be applied on my head. Don't make it too dry because it's difficult to apply and it will not lend its color very well. If you make it too runny, then obviously you're going to have henna dripping all over the place. The henna that I've got, the powder itself was sourced from India. I usually get it from Rajasthani place. Not quite Rajasthan itself, but in Chennai, where there are a lot of Northeast or Marwaris in that area. So the quality of the henna is very good, and it's quite pure. I've been getting it from them for quite some time now. So that's that ready. This, as I said, is a very simple henna recipe for the head. I would say soak for at least minimum 1 hour so that the color gets released and your hair catches the color. But if you can soak for like 2 to 3 hours, that's even better. So there you go. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.